Today's an adventure ride with two films, the 1968 action film Bullitt, starring Stephen McQueen, and the 2017 action film The Hitman's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, here on The Pithy Review. Your first question is, how can you pit these two movies up against each other? Well, the simple answer is you can't. Plots are completely different, and they take place in two different eras. The movie Bullitt, starring Stephen McQueen, is a classic. And if you already don't know, it revolutionized the chase scene. It's been parodied, mimicked, modified, and altered throughout the years. And while chase scenes go back as far as the silent movie era, this busted out onto the scene in a whole new way, making use of new types of cameras, angles, and ideas. And it was just a thrill. I'm going to cut to the chase and give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's definitely a great thrill, all the way through. The plot twists in this are not the usual tropes that you see today in action films. The whole story in the end ends on a slightly different note, almost melancholy, but appropriate. And I'd love to see more movies like this. They totally set this up for a sequel, and it's a shame they never did. And if you're into jazz, especially of the beatnik flavor, you'll really get a kick out of this. The soundtrack was the first thing that popped out at me when I first put on this movie. Now, out of coincidence, on the same day, I watched another movie called The Hitman's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And I'm glad I did, because I was able to see the evolution of the chase scene in movies throughout the years very quickly. And while I'm going to give this a straight out 4 out of 5 stars, I'm going to highly recommend this movie. Mainly because for what The Expendables did for explosions, this movie did for chase scenes. Don't be expecting a deep plot that's going to make you think for months on end. You're going to watch this movie for a fun time, and I certainly did. And I'm definitely going to come back to this and watch this with some friends at some point. Some often point to the James Bond series of movies for great chase scenes, but I'm going to have to argue that I think this was one of the best chase scenes ever done in a movie. And it just keeps going and going and going. And it's not even beating a dead horse. It's going down different turns and angles, and part of it is on foot and then back into cars and other vehicles and such. Do yourself a favor. Watch both of these movies. Highly recommend. So please tell me, what movie do you think has the best chase scene? Is it one of these or one other one that I haven't even covered yet? I'm actually all jazzed up now. I want to see some more, please. One last thing. I need your help reaching my first 1,000 subscribers to become monetized. And you'd be doing me a solid if you also add a comment and hit the like buttons down below.